Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of The Real Deal. I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. So let's talk about mortgage forbearance and just a quick refresher on what that is and why that's kind of a hot topic is when all the COVID-19 stuff kind of started happening earlier in the year. There was a bunch of regulations that were put in place to help homeowners that were in a position where they couldn't pay their mortgage because of being laid off or taking some time off, right? At this point, that's kind of dissipated. A lot of people are back to work. Businesses are opened up left and right. However, there are still clients, there are people that are feeling the after effects. And if you know anybody that went through this process, this is definitely a video that you want to share with them. Okay. So what you do when you go into mortgage forbearance basically is you're skipping a couple months and then you're adding them to the end of your loan, or in some cases, in some more extreme cases, you're skipping a couple months and then when you're done with this mortgage forbearance process, then you basically pay all those months spread out over like a year or sometimes up front, right? I don't want to get into the specifics of that, but let's talk about what you need to do to put you in a position to be able to purchase a house if you did or if you currently are in mortgage forbearance. I've had a couple clients that have considered the process of buying a house again. And this is something that's prevented them from being able to buy their house. So when you're actively in mortgage forbearance, let's say you're a seller, right? And let's say that you took advantage of that benefit that you had and you put your loan into a mortgage forbearance where you haven't been paying your payments for a couple months. Unfortunately, the traditional process is you have to take yourself out of mortgage forbearance before you can start buying another house, before you take a new mortgage. So you would have to actually make two payments. So you would have two payments that would have to be put back into your regular routine before you can purchase a house. Now, like I said previously, in some cases, certain lenders, they don't just allow you to pop out of forbearance. There is a process. Either you have to pay that money back somehow, or you have to break that up over the following year. It's kind of like a case-by-case basis. Some lenders do allow you to add that to the end of the mortgage. So you really want to make sure that you're prepared on if you have been thinking about selling and taking advantage of the market, the seller's market that we're in, and taking advantage of the low interest rates to be able to buy your next home. You want to make sure that you do your research and you want to start the process now, so that way by the time that you're ready to make the move, you're not in a position where you can't buy the house that you've been keeping your eye on, or you want to make sure that you're ready to buy when you've made up your mind to sell. Okay, so the last thing you want to do is make up your mind to sell your house. You're excited, and then you end up having to wait an extra 2-3 months because of this mortgage forbearance. Okay, there are ways. I work with some very creative lenders that have been in the market and the business for years. There are ways to be able to speed that process up. So if that is you, there are ways to speed that process up. So if you are thinking about selling and buying, or not necessarily if you're thinking about selling, let's say you're thinking about renting your house out and then buying something else, but you were in mortgage forbearance, this still will affect you. So if that is you, or if you know somebody that's going through that, have them reach out to me. So that way we can try to find a way to speed up the process and not have to wait those two payments, because this can turn out to be a 2-3 month delay. You have to get yourself out of mortgage forbearance, and then once you get yourself out of it, then you have to make two continuous payments. So there is a way to try to work the system, I would say, to try to speed up the process, so that way you don't have to wait those 2-3-4 months to get you ready to buy your next home. Okay, I have a client that's moving in from out of state, went through the process, and they're ready to sell their house. They want to move here to the beautiful area of Arizona, Phoenix location, and unfortunately they have to wait a couple extra months to get the process started. So it's one of those things that you really don't know until you're in a position where you have to make the decision if you're going to sell to buy your next home. So once again, if you know anybody that's going through that process, or if you've been thinking about selling or renting your house and you're thinking about buying your next house, and you did take you did put your mortgage into mortgage forbearance, talk to me, reach out to me, so we can get together and come up with a game plan to speed that process up. All right, guys. So hopefully this information helps you out. Please share it. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.